everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial with the brand new Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette, which I got a couple of days ago. I got it from Urban Decay's UK website. It's sold out pretty much all the time, and they have it available in Westfield stores and in Covent Garden Urban Decay stores, and I do believe that it launches nationwide, like in Debenhams and everything, on the 3rd of December. 2nd or the 3rd of December, don't quote me on that, but some point this week. And anyway, so this is what I'm using. Please excuse my voice, I've got a nasty, disgusting cold, and all this makeup is covering the immense redness and grossness underneath. I feel like absolute anyways, so here it is, and you guys will be very, very happy to know that I did listen to you all. I don't always respond to everybody's comments, mostly because there can be so many and I don't literally have the chance to do it, but I do read all of them, and you guys suggested that I buy Jeffree Star Cosmetics Doll Parts liquid lipstick. You guys were so right. I can't believe how much I love it. I actually love it more than Androgyny, believe it or not. So this is the look that I've gone with today, and yes, I am wearing eyelashes for a change. And yeah, so I'm using the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette on my eyes, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I am going to do a review on this as well, which I will link below so that you guys know what my thoughts are on it. And yeah, so enjoy the video. Bye. Hello everybody. Okay, first I'm going to prime my face using the Benefit Air Patrol BB eyelid primer to prime my eyelids basically, and then I'm using my Laura Mercier foundation primer as well all over my face. Now for foundation, I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I normally use about a pump and a half of this, which is enough to dot all over my face to give one even layer of coverage. And then I'm using a Real Techniques Expert Face brush to blend it all in. As my tan is fading, I need a little bit of extra coverage to cover some of the pigmentation on my face. So I'm using my Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer, and this is in the shade SX11, which is the right kind of shade for my face. And then what I tend to do is I push it in with my finger, because I like to really kind of get it right into my skin. I'm not really blending it, I'm just pushing it in, as it's very emollient and quite, not greasy, but it's just very moisturizing. And then I'm just going to use the same brush to blend it all in. This gives me a little bit of extra, plus it gives the skin a really nice natural glow, because this is like an awesome all-purpose product you can use as a foundation, concealer, highlighter, whatever you want. And then I am going to do my under eye highlighting and concealing using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer and my MAC Prep and Prime highlighter in the shade Light Boost to apply it to all the areas I want to highlight. Then using a damp beauty blender, hello, wow. Then I blend it all in so that all my under eye darkness is now lovely and light, as well as, you know, the nose and the forehead and the usual areas that you want the light to bounce off of. Sorry, I sound still weird. I've now got tonsillitis. It's not even a cold anymore. I sound weird. Now I'm using the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette to set my under eye area, as well as the nose, forehead and everywhere else. You just saw me apply those products, and I'm using a Real Techniques contour brush to do that. Now I'm going to set my face as always using a Sigma Big Fluffy brush and my MAC Studio Fix powder foundation in the shade NC40, as I always do, just to set it all so that it's all lovely and soft. And then I am going to prep my lips as always using my Comex lip balm. Now I'm using the Gwen Stefani Urban Decay palette. Now I'm using the shade Stark, which is pretty much the same colour as my own skin, so I'm using it as a base shade with the Sigma E40 tapered blending brush. And then I'm using the shade Anaheim, and I am using a MAC 224 brush to go backwards and forwards in the crease, building up a nice like amount of definition. And yeah, so just do that to both eyes basically. Next, use the shade Serious, which is like a shimmery dark grey, and I'm using the Morphe G17 brush to gently dot it into the outer V area and then slowly start to blend it in. As it's a really dark colour, just build it up really slowly and just keep wiggling the brush around so that it blends out and it diffuses. Because it's a really dark shade, you have to just make sure that you just don't put too much on at once, and then just keep going backwards and forwards until you build it up to the intensity you want it to be. Now, using this pink shimmery shade called Harajuku and a 239 MAC brush, just apply it all over the lid area up to the dark grey shade. These two shades are very similar in consistency, so they blend really nicely together. There's no really obvious harsh line. I didn't really have to do much blending between those two shades. For the brow bone, I'm using the shade Skimp and a MAC 227 brush to apply it all over the brow bone area, and then go back in with the 224 fluff brush and a little bit more of Anaheim just to blend out any harsh lines. Then I'm using the groomer brush by Makeup Addiction Cosmetics just to brush out my eyebrows and prepare them for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow in the shade Chocolate. And then I am going to do my brows. So basically this is pretty much how I do it. I can do another like separate video just on my brows if you want, because I'm just gonna show you. I tend to do it differently every time, but generally I outline the outside, then I start to fill them in. But I only dip the brush in once for each eyebrow because my eyebrows are not really that thin. I don't want to kind of go overboard, but there is like a little technique as to how I do them the same every time. Then I brush out the product just to make sure it's all distributed evenly. Then to set any flyaway hairs, I use the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel to set my eyebrows in place. Next, I'm going to move on to my eyeliner, and then as always I'm using my L'Oreal Superliner Perfect Slim to do a medium sized line, which I then wing out, and I use the nib to make quite a fairly sharpish edge. Then I go back in and fill in the rest of the eyeliner, where you can see the pink gaps, because I don't like to do a thick line or a really thin line. Then I'm using the shade Danger, which is an amazing royal blue, and I'm using a Sigma pencil brush to blend it into my lower lash line because I really want to have a strong, vibrant pop of colour down there. To brighten up my tear duct area, I'm using the shade Baby and a MAC pencil brush to apply it to the inside of my eyes, which is always nice to brighten up that inner corner highlight, especially if you've got any dark shades. Then apply your mascara of choice, and then I'm using my House of Lashes lashes in Feline with some dark duo glue. And here are the finished eyes, which look very nice, if I may say so myself. Next, I'm going to move on to the face once I've stopped posing, and I'm using the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette as always. I'm using a Sigma large angled brush to contour out my cheekbones, and then I tend to place some around my hairline mostly. I've got a fairly small forehead anyway, so I don't tend to contour it too heavily. Now I'm using the brush called the Queen just to slightly shape my nose, just again to make it look less flat because I've got makeup on everywhere else. And then I'm going back in and just sharpening up and tidying up my contour. Then I'm using the Urban Decay Afterglow blush in the shade Obsessed, which is an amazing baby pink, and I'm using a MAC blush brush to apply this to my cheeks. As you can see, I am blatantly going overboard. Then I always go back in and then tone it down a little bit with the face powder brush, then I go back in again like a weirdo, I don't know why. Then I'm using the shade Oh Darling by MAC, which is an extra dimension skin finish for the holidays. I'm using a MAC stippling brush to apply it to the tops of my cheekbones, on my nose, and then a little bit above my cupid's bow, again on the cheekbones, because you can never have too much highlight. Then wipe off the excess lip balm in preparation for a Jeffree Star's Velour liquid lipstick in the shade Doll Parts, which is one of the holiday liquid lipsticks. I absolutely love this shade. It is my favorite pink at the moment. I'm so happy that I got this, thanks to you guys. Thank you for recommending it to me. I actually have no other liquid lipstick which is this shade, so I'm really happy with it. So yeah, so this is the final look. I hope that you all enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm thinking about doing like a very bright emerald green holiday look next. Let me know what you think. I want to use a bit of glitter, a bit of shimmer, that sort of thing. Anyway, see you all in the next video. Bye!